Hi, my name is David Snyder. I'm a songwriter and composer. I work with a lot of musicians, and I'm here today to talk about how you can get some really incredible sounds, songs that sound like they were produced in a 42-track recording studio or better by using some of the just phenomenal software that is on the market today. Particularly, I like Finale for composers. I absolutely love and adore the Garritan sound bank, which I'll be talking about, which are samples that produce live instruments to any track that you might generate in Finale. I also use other programs like Guitar Pro for initial compositions, which I think are fantastic. Band in a Box 2014 is phenomenal. So I often use a lot of these programs in combination. For example, I might start off sketching something out in Guitar Pro, and then I'll export it as a MIDI. I'll open it up in Finale, and I'll choose, again, live samples, real sounding, real instruments, in fact, from the amazing Garritan sound library. And I've got real drums, I've got a real symphony orchestra behind me, I've got real bass. These are pretty phenomenal tools to have at your disposal if you're a songwriter or a composer and you are trying to generate products from your home studio that are ready to cut, they're ready to play. And so using these tools, sitting at your desk in front of your computer, you can actually generate songs and compositions for film, TV, even albums that are ready to go for commercial use, which is a pretty amazing thing. So in a series of lessons, I'll be zooming in on the computer screen, and I'll be showing you some fundamental things that you need to know in order to properly use the Finale tool and the Garritan sample library in order to get the effects that you need and to produce it. So I'll be walking you again step by step through how you use Finale, how you interface it with the Garritan sound library, and how you can do pretty much anything you want to do to produce live sounding rock and roll, jazz, or even a live sounding string quartet or orchestra. Just as a demo, one of the reasons why, from a home recording standpoint, you probably want to invest in something like Finale and the Garritan sample library is it answers the age-old question that musicians have over and over and over again, and that question is, where am I going to find a drummer? Okay, that's always been the big problem. And if you're using a lot of MIDI programs, as you know, the drums, they're just not that cool. However, Garritan has solved that problem, because if you can go into Guitar Pro, or you can go into Finale, or you can use Band in a Box, you can generate a drum track. You can generate a real drum track, or you can score it yourself if you want to go to that much trouble. And when you play it back, as an example, through the Garritan sampler, it's going to sound like this. Okay, now, those pretty much sound like live drums to me, which gets me off on a good foot, and it solves one of the biggest problems that I have as a musician when I'm beginning to compose something. Where do I find a drummer? Well, thanks to Garritan and the Garritan sound library, I've got one. If I want to sound live, if I want to sound contemporary, if I want to sound real, I'm probably going to have to grab a Taylor or a Martin or another good guitar, and eventually, once I've laid down all of my other tracks, I'm going to have to add some real wood to it. I'm going to have to add a real live instrument, or a Telecaster, or a Strat, or a Les Paul, or another great guitar. But at least I've got live drums, right? So now I can go. point being, stop this. The point being, and I'll show you in future lessons as we zoom in, that when I record material in my home studio using a combination of Finale, Garritan, additionally using great compositional tools like Band in a Box, and phenomenal layout tools like Guitar Pro, I can produce something that in the end, with a click of a button, I can produce a WAV file and then convert it to an MP3, and people will ask me, wow, what studio did you do that in, and who was playing drums? To which I answer, dude, or lady, woman, man, whatever, I did all of that with this guitar, or my Telecaster, or my Stratocaster, sitting in front of my computer. And people go, wow. So in the following lessons, I'm going to zoom in, again, on the particular software programs and show you a couple of basic fundamental things that you need to know in order to get started using these amazing tools in David's Pro Studio.